And grace and peace to you this Sunday in June. I'm Laura Lee Kent, the pastor at the Medford United Church of Christ, and I'm pleased to welcome you to this time of worship. I'm always pleased to be the one in this church who says no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you're welcome here, and we mean it. Whether you are watching at 10 o'clock or some other time, this is a time for us to be together in the Spirit. As we continue into the Sundays after Pentecost, we remember the message of God's desire for us to live fully every single day. The church practiced their hope in this way. Day by day, as they spent much time together in the temple, they broke bread at home and ate their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having the goodwill of all the people. So, over the next few weeks, we will follow our ancestors' traditions. We will be creating a temple of worship in our hearts, whether we can be physically together or not. By sharing in words and music and breathing and prayer, we will stay connected. The earliest Christians worshiped in their homes before they had churches, and so will some of us until we can all meet again in our sanctuary. Because at the heart of the matter, we are connected through the Spirit that makes us one in love. Please be with me in prayer. Holy living God, heartbeat of creation, help us to take this time to center on you, for you made us. You gave us life, and you continue to be with us every moment, every breath, every step. Hear this assurance from God. Into your care we offer now our worries, fears, and strife. We turn to you and know you're near, your light, our love, and life. Amen. The spiritual guru Ram Dass described living in this way. We're all just walking each other home. Here is Barbara Kingsolver's description of this way of living. Think about who walks you home. My friend lives on this road, the same as me, 2 hollows down, 2 gladed mountainsides, briar patches that go without saying, fields in pumpkin or hay or fallow. Once we can never forget, a bear. And once, for too long a season, a road-killed deer whose return to dust we both watched, the ragged pelt dried to leather, the shipwreck of rib cage. My friend alone saw the bear and told me of it in the winter of her chemo. I was the one to see the deer, fresh struck, and had to find words, though even now I can hardly bear to say how I watched hooves beating air, reaching for some blind heaven. Between us, we know this map by heart. I walk from my house to hers, and then together we speak of things, or don't. We are often quiet all the way back home to mine. Or she walks here first, collects me for her return. Either way, this is the road where we live. Always we walk each other home, and always we walk some of it alone. Our biblical text today is from the book of Luke, the Gospel, chapter 24, verses 13 through 35. Here is another description of walking home as Jesus accompanies 2 of the disciples on the road to Emmaus. Do you realize all the times that he walks you home? On that same day, 2 disciples were traveling to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking to each other about everything that had happened. While they were discussing these things, Jesus himself arrived and joined them on their journey. They were prevented from recognizing him. And he said to them, "What are you talking about as you walk along?" They stopped, their faces downcast. The one named Cleopas replied, "Are you the only visitor to Jerusalem who is unaware of the things that have taken place there over the last few days?" And Jesus said to them, "What things?" And they answered, "The things about Jesus of Nazareth. Because of his powerful deeds and words, he was recognized by God and all the people as a prophet. But our chief priests and our leaders handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. We had hoped he was the one who would redeem Israel. All these things happened 3 days ago, But there's more. Some women from our group have left us stunned. They went to the tomb early this morning and they didn't find his body. They came to us saying that they had even seen a vision of angels who told them he is alive. Some of those who were there with us went to the tomb and found things just as the women said. They didn't see him. And then Jesus said to them, "You foolish people, your dull minds keep you from believing all that the prophets talked about. Wasn't it necessary for the Christ to suffer these things and then enter into his glory?" And then he interpreted for them the things written about himself in all the scriptures, starting with Moses and going through the prophets. When they came to Emmaus, he acted as if he was going on ahead. But they urged him, saying, "Stay with us. It's nearly evening and the day is almost over." So he went to stay with them. And after he took his seat at the table with them, he took bread, blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to them. Their eyes were opened, and they recognized him. But he disappeared from their sight, and they said to each other, "Weren't our hearts on fire when he spoke to us along the road and when he explained the scriptures for us?" They got up right then and returned to Jerusalem. They found the 11 and their companions gathered together. They were saying to each other, "The Lord really has risen. He appeared to Simon." And then the 2 disciples described what had happened along the road and how Jesus was made known to them as he broke the bread. May God bless this reading and hearing. Amen.
May God bless us with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that we may live from deep within our hearts. May God bless us with anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of God's creations, so that we may work for justice, freedom, and peace. May God bless us with tears to shed for those who suffer pain, rejection, hunger, and war, so that we may reach out our hands to comfort them and to turn their pain into joy. And may God bless us with just enough foolishness to believe that we can make a difference in the world, so that we can do what others claim cannot be done, to bring justice and kindness to all our children and all our neighbors who are poor. Amen.
Please be with me in prayer. Loving God, today we ask that you hold the people we know and love in your heart. Laurie Lundeen, Patty Jensen's friend Carla and her mother Sally, Ronnie Marsh, Don Hughes, Beth Mold, Margie Murch's neighbor Kirk and his brother-in-law Mike, Joanne Aldridge, Brian Wolcott, Sandy Kilgore, Linda Rue, and Linda's nephew, Peter Ware's sister Kathy, Sandra Chotia, Ruth Klaus, Mark Engel Hobson's mother Ella May, and please, oh God, be with all of those who are caregivers in our church. We also pray for those who are grieving, especially Sue Dalkey. We want to open our hearts to the people we cannot name, whose names we do not know. But we know they need our prayers, and we know that you know their names, oh God. For those who have lost loved ones, for those who are sick and recovering, for those who are caring for loved ones who are sick at home, for those who are providing medical care, for those who are separated from loved ones, for those who are feeling alone and isolated, for those who are helping and are so very tired, for those who are struggling to find friends, food, comfort, for those who are afraid. We ask that you join in our celebrations, weddings, proms, graduations, births, family gatherings. Lead us, guide us, surround us, fill us and hear us as we offer the prayer that Jesus taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. And now I invite you to go from this time. And may you go with the grace to never sell yourself short, the grace to be able to risk something big for something good, the grace to remember that the world is just too dangerous for anything but the truth, and the world is just too small for anything but love. Amen. And peace to all of you in the days ahead.